Oh, yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, stand to your feet and make noise for Gresh Unleashed!
Let's go! When the club go around here, I'm a cactus. Bang, bang, gang, I don't owe you jack. When I'm in the ring, it's just me and my best friends. OC cutting no slack. Hollywood Miz, you can put me on the A-list. Gresh Unleashed, better put it on your playlist. Me and my fam be ballin' like the Bruce. Fight night, baby, hard hitting like Sheamus. Family first, yes, bloodline business. Winning all the gold, look at how they witness. I was taught to be the greatest. 1,000 days I'm running, check out the book of Guinness. Coolin' with the baddies in the baddie section. Guarantee you they ain't jaded. Yellow, you baby face, I ain't feeling your gimmick. The fans think it's overrated. Brock Lesnar on the beast. Eat, sleep, flex, and repeat. Whole new swag with a price on the tag. Coming live from the west to the east. Better recognize on the mouthpiece. See the power level gotta increase. Bringing content on a daily. Feeling like Gresh Unleashed.
Greetings and salutations, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, non-binary pals, baby mamas, baby daddies, and everybody in between. Welcome back to the Gresh Unleashed podcast. This is episode 84 for the show that brings you the good vibes to the best of our abilities. Joining you as always is the voice that does the most, the purveyor of mischief, Gresh. And joining me as always is my main man, my right-hand man, my partner in them, Mr. Hi-Lite Real, the voice of the Unleashed Anthem. If you guys enjoying that, make sure you guys tune into that. But what's good with your brother?
What's up, everybody? It's your boy Hi-Lite Real in the building. Hey, I'm just trying to practice the 5 delay like you, man. This feels like ESPN style, you feel me? When they're like satellite. So,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, man.
That's what we are today. We're satellite in the building.
In the building, you feel me? Shout out to everybody, man. Appreciate y'all always tuning in with us week to week. All things aside, you know what I'm saying? Not much of a week for us, really, Gresh, when it comes to the wrestling tip, but we'll get into that.
And we pretty much getting into the habit of these betting odds too, because football is almost back. Thank God.
Can't wait.
I'm ready to hate this season.
Madden again, bro. Like, for real. I've been killing in that jump. Like, I thought I would be rusty, but I actually been killing in Madden. I'm like, bro, I'm back on. Okay, all right.
You been playing NCAA?
No, I gotta try that. That's the next thing I'm gonna try. I gotta try the NCAA.
I played it for 2 days, and I've been busy, and I have not turned my game system on since. So I need to get back into that. But I thought I was gonna be rusty because I haven't played football games since Madden. What Madden came out in 2006? Was it Madden 6? Did a Madden?
That was probably
06. That was the last time I played any type of football game. So that's how rusty.
I think that's the one with Sean Alexander on the cover, I think.
Hold on. I'm going to Google it right now. Madden 2006. That's the one. Yeah, that's how long it's been. Like Xbox 360, PlayStation 2. Who's this on the cover? Who's this on the cover? This is the one with Donovan McNabb.
Oh, McNabb, that's right. That was that transitional period. That's right. I do remember that. Because like you said, that was right when the 360 and all of that was coming out. Oh, bro. Wow, that took me back. That's when those Maddens were fire.
What's that? Silent Johnny said, you think Jamie Hayter returns in All In? Who knows? We'll see. We'll definitely talk about that during the preview and predictions part because,
for sure.
Hey man, other than that, let's see what we got going on from anything that stood out to you wrestling wise this past week. Because this is the part where we chop it up with the fan for those of you who are new around here.
Let's see.
Outside of the main that we're gonna talk about, obviously with Jacob and Roman and all that.
Well, I mean, on the subject of that, I guess it's kind of a sad note, but you know, the Alpha and Sika passing within months of each other was wild. You know what I mean? Like,
wasn't it like 2 months? Like, I think was it Alpha who passed in June, and then, or was it Sika who passed in June, and then Alpha.
It was Sika, yeah, because Alpha just passed. So,
Yeah.
okay, I was like, what's going on? I thought that was my phone. Okay, it was this.
No, that was me. That was me. I was just putting the graphic up so we can with the flow of the show. You good? But
Yeah,
that's unfortunate. It's like, damn.
yeah,
Like
man.
that's a double whammy for that family too. Like
Yeah. And it's like we talk about how big the family is all the time, and so it's just
it's a
like
lot of y'all.
it's a lot, but at the same time, these the OGs that created this tree. You know what I'm saying? So like,
And they've trained so many people. They called him Pops.
yeah, you know what I mean? Like, it's like a major blow, really, to the entire industry outside of the family. We just know they're feeling it the most with the relation. But like, man, that's why actually I was kind of surprised to see Solo and Roman on the show when I found out that he passed. But then I guess they would just not be on the show this week, maybe.
Solo might. Roman, yeah, he's gone for a while again.
Okay.
So, but as far as I was surprised too. I was like, dang, you just lost another. But then again, knowing how the business is in their blood, and especially from people who actually know the family, who's actually had a conversation with me, or who have conversations with other media personalities, they feel right at home in that ring. Because Jay was right out there after the show, and he was getting emotional talking about it. He was like, "Yo, thank y'all for allowing us to entertain y'all, because this means a lot to us." So the human in me is surprised, but the entertainment in me is not surprised, because it's like when you do something that the family is pretty much helped you build your career around, you kind of get lost in the sauce with that. But I never had the honor and privilege of meeting Alpha and Sika, but I've had the honor and privilege of meeting people who knew them. So you can tell that his loss is definitely felt. And once again, we want to send our deep felt condolences to the family, friends, and I guess you could say extended family, being the wrestling community of Alpha and Hawaii. Long live the Wild Samoans, and he's finally reunited with his brother 2 months later. So rest in peace. Yeah, man.
Yeah,
That's what I said. That's what I said. I said, wow.
yeah. I mean, it's when people say God has a sense of humor, that's about a way to put it. Like brothers passing away like within months like that, to be reunited like that in a more peaceful fashion is wild. You know what I mean? But it's just good to see the legacy so strong, and that as Jay was saying at the Fanatics Fest. Well, actually, uh, Peter Rosenberg was saying it on behalf of Jay, but just saying like, Jay, Roman, pretty much they're carrying the torch now. Like they're the ones that are like holding it down for the family.
I forgot which one put it on Twitter. I think it was either Juicy,
Mm-hmm.
or it was either Juicy or Lance. It was probably Juicy, because I know Jacob, his brother, commented under it. But he said, "Rest now. We got it from here."
Yeah.
So yeah, it's rough from a personal point, but it was like the business that y'all love is in great hands. So
100%, brother.
yeah.
Moving on to a semi-lighter note, I guess, non-wrestling related, but kind of wrestling related in terms of the fact that it feels like a whole wrestling show. Bro, where you at with this whole politics thing right now with this so-called race going on? Because bro, I ain't want to get in people's business. I ain't big on politics. I know you not, but I just gotta ask you, brother.
It's the funny thing is, I love it when people ask me about politics, because I'm born into a political family. I'm born into a civil rights family, So you hear that when you're in my shoes, you hear that literally every waking second about politics, about like the blue, the red, the independence. Like I see it all. I hear it all. I pay attention. I have cousins and uncles and aunties that are senators and governors and captains. I almost got into politics, but I don't have the patience for it. So that's why I'm saying, like, that's how deep I'm into with the politics. But as far as like what's going on right now, it's a clown show. The entire thing is a clown show.
Boy.
And all I can do is laugh. Because it's like, what? And it's like it's like that's a black thing. You laugh to keep from losing your fucking mind all the time because all these people are like that debate a couple months ago. I literally just was like, wow, why? And then on top of that, with Kamala and all these other people joining in, who I feel like is winning, it's more so it's like it's a waiting game. I know who I'm voting for. I'm not out here to advocate for people to. I can tell you who not to vote for. He's orange, but at the same time, I'm not going to bash you if you do, because that's your choice. But just understand that for me, you're not going to guilt trip me into voting for anybody that I don't want to vote for. That's all I would say on that.
Yeah. In a nutshell, I feel the same way. Really, it's like,
like I just saw niggas getting upset at Terrible Leia for being racist. Like, nigga, that's old news. The sky, the water is wet. The sky is blue. We know, because he said something about her, and TMZ posted footage, and I looked. I was like, well, and there's no point in me commenting on it on Twitter because let's keep it a buck. Twitter is Twitter. They always, it's just niggas who are keyboard warriors that hide behind a profile picture. I can say whatever I want to say. It ain't gonna change how I feel. I don't need your approval on who I vote for. Do I fuck with Hogan? No. Do I fuck with anybody that's racist? No. He don't. Our boy DJ don't. My brother don't. My brother will literally whoop your ass if you racist towards him. So that's where we stand. But at the same time, we're not gonna be these fake advocates that just want to say something just for clicks. You know what we do? We go in the streets. We actually go to polls. We actually go to conventions. If my cousin say, "Hey, bro, I got something going on," if I'm in town, I'm there.
Big facts, bro.
I don't do this. I'm not the Twitter. I'm old school. I was born in the 90s, but I was raised in the early 2000s where we walked outside. We didn't do none of this advocate, like PSA for engagement type stuff. We actually did the work. And that's where I stand on it.
Come on, man. Hey, that's very beautifully said, my brother. I just had to throw that in there for the heck of chopping it up with the fam. You know what I'm saying? We ain't gonna get into detail on all. Like I said, what y'all on, that's y'all side of the business and coin and all that. We ain't here to do all that here. We having fun with it, but it's like a gigantic.
I'm glad you brought that up because I saw a post earlier today where someone asked the question was, where does the line draw when you can separate the artist from the art?
Good point.
So basically, like say because let's be real, you have some people who are wrestlers that are Trump supporters. You have some wrestlers who are not. You have some wrestlers who are anti-black. Can you separate the artist from the art? I draw the line with murder, pedophilia, and racism. So if you flat out show me that you racist, I don't fuck with you. I don't fuck with no Lacey Evans. I don't fuck with no Hulk Hogan. I don't fuck with who else do I know that's publicly racist?
Lacey Evans?
I can't think of who.
Lacey Evans? What the heck?
Yeah, I think she after she left, you know when you leave WWE, the whole persona goes down. So you just leave your true colors. I don't know who else is racist, but I'm just saying like that's where I draw the line. And most of these people weren't even that good to begin with, to where I'm be like, oh my God, I gotta look at that match back. But yeah, that's a good question. And even with the chat, I want y'all to get involved too. Like, are you able to separate the artist from the art? So, like, say a Tiffany Stratton. I don't know her personally. Say a Tiffany Stratton is pro white, like white supremacy type shit. Would you be able to separate the art from the artist?
Man.
Or Austin Theory. I don't know him like that too. I'm just throwing random white people names, even black people, because there's some blacks for Trump.
Man, that's a good question, and I'm boy, because I mean, as an artist in music, it's the same question we ask when we talk about the R. Kellys or the Diddy, folks that's coming out.
We're music here. We're music
Yeah,
here too. We can do
yeah.
that too. So
It's an interesting thought. I mean, because there are people out there who do separate. You know, you still CB still gets mentioned in the wrestling community to some that still respect the wrestling side of him. But like you said, when you think about murder, when you think about pedophilia, racism, those are three strong subjects.
to
Like
where it's
real
like,
strong. They're like, yeah, because look at Patrick, for example.
mm-hmm.
Okay, perfect example. You've seen him on some shows,
You've seen
but
him
you're
on
looking
one
at
show.
them. No,
Oh, he had
Caribbean
another
wrestling.
one?
Yeah, Caribbean, all
Oh.
Caribbean wrestling.
Oh.
I've seen him on their flyer.
Oh.
And that's what I'm saying. He's being booked out there by some of them promotions that people choose or choose not to, support or pay attention to. But it's one of those things where I'm like, okay. So that's why it's like, evidently on a business aspect, some do, I guess, because they're believers in second chances. I mean, but
which is okay. I'm not knocking people who are into second chances,
yeah,
but at the
because I'm
same
a big,
time,
I'm a
I'm not
big guy.
perfect.
Yeah,
I done fucked up a few times in my life,
right.
but it's at the same time, it's like, where do you like? But that's a whole nother discussion for another day. Like, where do you draw the line with second chances? Because after a while, second chances, you can only give so many second chances.
True.
But
Like I think the perfect example for that. I'll put it this way: Michael Vick, Patrick Clark. Michael Vick was very genuine. The man he was before that situation got him caught, and the man that he was after he did his time, and who he's been since, complete maturity. You know what I'm saying? It's genuine. Like he was genuinely sorry about what happened. Now, despite dog lovers, animal lovers, non-animal lovers, despite where you feel on the subject of that at that time, that man paid his dues. He did what he had to do. Meanwhile, if we go back to that Chris Van Vliet thing where he was probably one of those that wanted to open the door for him, let him kind of speak his piece. A lot of people, based off the response from what I heard, they didn't believe it.
we definitely talked about it. Y'all can search the episode back. We talked about it. I think I was out of town, so we talked about it on the show before the show started. So it's not on the show, but if you go on YouTube, it's on YouTube somewhere.
Pre-shows, yeah, and we even knew like there was something about it that just wasn't fully genuine, and so that's where the second chance line gets kind of drawn, because it's like, if you can feel it in your soul that they are not genuine, you looking dead in their eyes and you can tell from body language or the way their words are constructed, you ain't genuine, you ain't serious. I can't give you that second chance, because you're not even in the moment of trying to give you one, you're not taking it seriously. But then there's someone like a Tessa Blanchard out there where I could give her a second chance, but
And the person that she reportedly was racist towards forgave her. So it's like, so now that that's out of the way, it's more so on her on why she's not given a second chance in the States.
Facts. Big facts, bro. So those are the type of things. I guess that's the closest I could say to answering.
Mm-mm. Did his internet go out? Hold on. Or did his phone heat up? I think his phone heat up. But yeah, that's the closest he can get to answering that question. I think his phone heat up a little bit. So I'm gonna let him get that situated right quick. So, but yeah, that's a real serious conversation to have. So, hey man, I want to know what the chat. Like, I see the chat. They said that's a dope discussion. Yeah, fuck Hulk Hogan. Hey man, I like that whole shit with him and the whole apology to the to whatever the case may be. Just wasn't genuine to me. So I don't really like. I'm not moved by him having those comments. But yeah, I agree with the second chance statement. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, you can have a second chance. But it's up to you to keep being good and being mindful of what you say and how you say it and who you say things to. It's like you can be forgiven, but if you're not genuine with it, no one will care if you get caught again. Like, you're on thin ice. And that's from somebody who's been caught doing something completely stupid, whether it was childish, immature, whatever the case may be. It's like you literally, it's up to you to want to change and actually do the work to change. So if you're not changing, then when you get caught, then don't nobody want to hear shit when you get caught. So, hey man, I'm gonna give him time to reset his situation and hop in the chat. But yeah, man, I'm gonna flip the switch a little bit, give him time to hop in and get situated. We're gonna switch over to the betting odds, to where we're going to talk a little bit about NXT No Mercy. I just finished watching NXT. It was a solid show, decent show. It was hit or miss in some spots, but then again, it is developmental. I know a lot of people hate when I use that technical term, but that's just how I feel about watching NXT. That's how I consume NXT. When you realize it's just vibes and don't really overthink it and overdo it, then you enjoy it for what it was. But yeah, I'm gonna switch over to the betting odds, and we're gonna talk a little bit about NXT. This is for for Bash in Berlin. We definitely gonna talk about Bash in Berlin because we had one match confirmed on Raw that a lot of people I pay attention to the Twitter spats and all that good stuff. So, but yeah, we basically have a couple matches confirmed for NXT No Mercy, which will be going down a week from this coming Sunday, September 1st, 4:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, unless that's what they're talking about the tickets. But yeah, September 1st, that will literally be NXT No Mercy, headlined by your Roxanne Perez, Ethan Page, Obafemi, Trick Williams, et cetera, because based off of tonight's episode, we have a pretty solid stat card so far. I'm pretty sure we have Ethan Page versus Joe Hendry for the NXT Championship. That was confirmed. Spoiler alert for those who didn't watch NXT. But yeah, Joe Hendry became the number one contender for the NXT Championship after Trick Williams screwed Pete Dunne out of the out of the number one contendership. So I'm pretty sure that's going to be a feud that's going to continue either on No Mercy or it's going to take place. That's my spray for some reason. Either on No Mercy or it's going to take place on NXT. We also have Roxanne Perez defending the NXT Women's Championship against Jada Parker. Welcome back, brother. I just switched over to betting odds so we could just keep the show rolling. So basically, I'm running down the card though. So we already have Joe Hendry versus Ethan Page confirmed for the NXT Championship. We have Roxanne Perez defending the NXT Women's Championship against Jada Parker, which threw me off because I texted you. I said, "Damn, I thought they was gonna give it to Sol Ruka," So, what else we got? There's likely going to be Wesley versus Zachary Wentz because you know how we talked about it last week. Basically, they're pretty. When the show was about to go out there, Zachary Wentz came and pretty much got his lip back a little bit on Wesley by jumping him. So that's likely going to be a match. They also probably, I don't know if it's going to be on No Mercy. It was probably going to be on NXT, but Pete Dunne versus Trick Williams 2 is likely going to happen because Trick screwed him out of the match and got him beat by Joe Hendry. They also had Obafemi. He's going to be defending the North American Championship against the Don of NXT, Tony D'Angelo. And I ain't gonna lie, I popped when Tony D slammed Oba like he did. I said, "What the? That's a strong boy."
Yeah, and you forget how big he is too, bro. Like I was like, he was darn near just as big as him too, and I'm like, yeah, that's believable.
What other match they have pretty much confirmed? Oh, for the NXT Tag Team Championship, we got Chase U defending against Faxium, Nathan Frazier and Axiom. Do you feel so basically for the betting odds, for those of you who don't know, we're gonna pretty much do over under again like we did last week. The only update for Bash in Berlin is the one match that we're gonna definitely talk about after this one. So basically, do you want to start with the main championship and then go backwards, or do you want to how you feel like we should do this one?
We can go main championship and backwards.
Okay, cool. Bet. Let me get my notes ready to go. Okay, so for the let me see if they got it updated for Wikipedia.
Wikipedia.
Did he kick himself out? Yeah, he did. It's okay. But yeah, I'm gonna see if they got it updated. Oh, okay. All right. We got 5 matches confirmed so far. Oh, they also have Kalani Jordan versus Wendy Chu for the NXT Women's North American Championship. That is also confirmed for this one. Let's check the chat right quick. Don't mess with Tony D. That's what I'm saying. Do not mess with Tony D'Angelo at all because that man will literally knock you the hell out. And I feel like wasn't he like a D1 wrestler or something like that? I read that somewhere. I feel like he was a D1 wrestler. So he's definitely a big strong boy. He's a big strong motherfucker. So definitely got that. But yeah, we got 5 matches confirmed for NXT No Mercy. I feel like that's the usual sweet spot. It's going to be going down in Denver for 1 week from Sunday because time is moving fast like a motherfucker. Wait on Hi-Lite. Let me see if Hi-Lite can pop on back in before we get this started. He probably got to keep his phone cooling down too, because it's a lot. It's a lot going on. Riley's World on Twitter says Jada Parker face. She's still giving heel vibes going in. That's the thing about NXT. That's what I thought too, because I thought Jada was still the heel, but they're probably going to go based off of her popularity because even though she's still technically a heel, she's getting cheered like a motherfucker. Like she's getting Miss Parker chants left and right. You need to keep your phone cooled down.
Yeah, just you know how these phones are, bro. That's the only downside to it.
Yeah, that's why I'm running. That's why I'm running through so we can so your phone won't glitch. But yeah, so basically the chat was asking like, isn't Jada Parker a face or is she a face because she still give off heel vibes? I'm like, like I just said, I feel like they're pretty much going off of her wave because let's be real, Jada gets some of the loudest reactions, mainly because let's just be real, she's attractive. Let's just keep it a buck. Let's just keep it a stack.
Highly, and I will actually add to that and say she's really given off even more now than ever before Bianca vibes of when Bianca was there, because Bianca had a similar kind of thing back then too in her NXT days, where even when she wasn't quite 100% ready, she got that reaction and people loved her even as a heel, where she was babyface as a heel in a way, but she was still doing heel things with a heel attitude. So like, if it's coming off that way, y'all, trust me, she's very much still like a quote unquote heel for now. But yeah, give it time. Give it time.
Okay, so I guess since we talk about that, we might as well start off with that one then. For the NXT Women's Championship, it'll be Roxanne Perez defending against Jada Parker. Over under. Do you see Roxanne retaining?
Whoo! Okay, I didn't. It's crazy going into this right now because I have some theories, but I'm going over.
Break down your theories while you give your answer.
For sure. So I'm gonna go over, and I'm gonna do this because I really went back and forth because I'm like, I could see a situation where WWE would pull the plug and give this to Jada Parker being so over with the fans and the crowd. However, as I mentioned that Bianca comparison again, I'm gonna take a page out of Sir Wilkins's book. And I remember he got hashed by people back in the day when he said Bianca, it was good when she lost at a time when people thought she was going to be NXT Women's Champion. And he was one of the only people to say she's not ready. And people tried to, hammer him for that. And he actually proved his point to be right because she never won that NXT title. But when she got to the main roster, they gave it time. And then what happened? She won that championship. But it was clear cut when she lost it to Becky in the unfortunate 20-something seconds she did. Yeah. She's technically speaking, that was her first championship and she was green. And all it did was make her even better for that full circle moment she got. Why am I saying that? It goes back to this point. Now, I'm not saying Jada Parker is going to have the same exact path, but it feels like I'm taking a page out of his book by saying Roxanne having more of the experience side of things, especially in ring, and being the perfect person that she can learn from even more. Yes, she worked with Mia Yim, Michin. She did, and she's shown that she could hang with the best of the best. But I still think there's still some growing to do for her. So even with the reaction, it feels like Roxanne's definitely over to retain this.
Oh, I honestly feel the same way because I might get heat, I might not get, but I don't care. Jada's not ready. Like she's not ready to win the women's title yet. Like how long has she been training? And I'm not even saying this as somebody who's in the business. I'm just saying like I have eyes that work. You can tell she's still trying to find her footing to where she doesn't think about it. Because even at the ending sequence with her and Sol Ruka, you can see that she was like, okay, I got to hit my finish. I got like 3 seconds.
Yeah.
Boom. There we go.
Not to mention the slip up that you saw where like they darn near both almost killed themselves a little bit.
Yeah, I caught that.
And even then with all of that, it's like even we could even bring in our sis Lala. She was one of the first people to say what she said, and y'all can go back in the archives if you want to see that. But the fact is, she is improving in ring. I have seen that. But there's still those little hiccups like what we saw tonight that show she ain't quite ready just yet. But the stock is in the right direction. And
she's in the right place.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, man. And when that trigger gets pulled, believe me, they will erupt. But right now, this ain't it. This is just a moment to make her hungrier, if anything. You know what I'm saying? Plus, I think she actually, not that long ago, because she's still in her rookie year, but not that long ago, she had if I'm not mistaken, a dark match or something against Roxanne for the title. Yeah, so this is really just, if you think about it, this is kind of them bringing that now to the forefront.
And that's the thing I need a lot of people to understand. Like NXT with these pay-per-views, they're literally they're rotating people to test to see like if you can sink or swim. Because people like to bring up the black and gold era of NXT. I remember when people was like, yo, Bianca versus Shayna was dope, but then when they went to Shayna versus Mia Yim, people dog walked that match because I ain't gonna lie to you, that match was kind of when I saw it live. So, but one thing I respect, the reason why I brought that up is like they have a track record of just throwing people out there to see if you can sink or swim. Hell, they've done it with 2.0 when it was full throttle 2.0. Like they will throw you out there to see, hey, Can you sync or something? Because let's be real, a lot of people weren't really feeling Trick versus Ilya on paper. But then that bell rung, and that was one of the best NXT title matches I ever seen in my life. I'm talking about the original one. I ain't talking about the TV one. I'm talking about the pay-per-view where Melo turned on him.
Yeah.
That was a killer match. What was that? Vengeance Day? Or was it Vengeance Day, or was it like?
I want to say that was Vengeance Day. Yeah, I think that was Vengeance Day.
Yeah. So I'm like, dog. I love it when people underestimate, and I say that because I feel like this match. Because a lot of people, that's what I'm saying. I read online reactions. Like, I see people's reactions, and everybody are justified in their opinions. But it's like, don't sleep on this. It's a single swim moment for a lot of these people. Like, a lot of people, even like even though he's it was Vengeance. Okay, cool. Appreciate you, Silent. People was dismissive about Oba. They was like, yo, they keep putting him in triple threat matches because like they don't trust him. But then he went out there and killed it with Wesley.
Yep. Big facts.
It's all about them trusting. They have to trust you, and if it doesn't work, they will easily rotate you out without burying you.
Pretty much.
So, hey man, I'm gonna agree with you on the over with Roxanne retaining. So now I gotta ask, do you feel like this match is setting up for a potential debut for someone?
Ooh, good point.
Because for those of you who don't follow international wrestling, Julia finished her last Japan show a couple of days ago. I think it was either Monday or Sunday. So she's clean and clear for WWE. Stephanie Valkyrie, she just cleared her work visa for the United States, so she's on her way here too.
Well, you know, the interesting thing about that is I feel like when they do debut them, they could do it at the same time. But then it's like you don't want to take the moment away from the other. So
you don't want to pull a Adam Cole, Bryan Danielson, all out pay-per-view moment. But even though that was fire, I ain't even gonna hold you.
It was. That's what I'm saying. WWE could pull off something similar if they want doing that. You know what I mean? Like where it's just like, ish, Roxanne's in trouble. One of them coming for you. You know what I'm saying? And then, you know, you just never know. But let's see. Over under on a potential debut. Let's see, because then that kind of takes away.
That's what I'm saying. Because if Roxanne is retaining, it's going to be, and it's a pay-per-view, so you know they're going to try to go all out.
That's true. I guess I'll go slightly over for that.
Okay.
Slightly. Just barely.
And in my case, I go full over with them because I'm like, I see them setting it up because at some point Roxanne is going to get called up. And what better way for her to get called up than by having killer matches with some internationally known talent? Because they say she's been working stiff for a reason. So she's going to face them. And she name dropped them easily. So it's like it's only a matter of time. Also, speaking of Stephanie Valkyrie, I think I saw it in my Discord. And someone was like, because they have a new faction, Toxic Attraction Light. It's Fatal Influence. JC Jane, Jasmine Nix, and Fallon Henley. Her name was literally sleeping on. I was like, it's a million names. These names are weird. But yeah, they're setting that up. A lot of people was like, they can see them. A lot of people in my Discord was like, they can see them being pretty much set up for whoever doesn't feud with Roxanne right away. So like, say they have a Julia feud with Roxanne, they can have Fatal Influence feuding with Stephanie Valkyrie, because the whole thing about Fatal Influence is these outsiders, these rookies are taking the spotlight and the opportunities from them, the people who's been there grinding from day one. Even though I still hate that fact that it's like you're beefing with Jasmine Nix, because isn't she the people y'all hate?
Exactly.
But like, then they gave it a reason, like she agrees with them. But I'm like, yeah, you agree with them, but they still hate you in story.
You always gotta have that one little lackey that you know how like
she's taking the pins.
Yeah, and then that, and then also remember what we were talking about when we were talking about like how like you got some black folks that's like a Trump supporter, for examples, right?
Mm-hmm.
The ones where it's like you do know you this right, but you okay. So it's like that for her. Like you want to. Okay, cool.
Okay, yeah, you one of the people that okay, you got it, buddy. Have fun with that. But nah, man. But nah, yeah, I definitely do see a debut going with this one. Keeping it with the women, we have Kalani Jordan defending the North American Championship against Wendy Chu. After, so the story here is Wendy Chu stole the belt from Kalani, had it in her pillow that she's walking around with, and during the match that she had with Lola Vice tonight, she hit her in the back of the head with it to win the match. And Kalani said, "Okay, you want this title? Okay, face me at No Mercy." That's literally how we got here.
Weird question before we even get into this one. After hearing that, I just missed that because I think I stepped away for a second when that match was going on, not because I was, but to hear that finish, it makes me wonder. We're talking about Jada Parker, right? And we just talked about rotating talents and seeing who's. Lola was incredibly over on the same peak level as Jada Parker. Now she lost, and now look at her being a middle person to someone who's already the champion. And I hope that doesn't happen to Jada per se, but it's like, come on, man. Y'all doing Lola like that? Y'all couldn't find any other one of them, a Ren Sinclair or like one of them like other
one of them other blondes.
blondes?
Like it's like 20 blondes on that roster. Like
Yeah.
you don't need a name tag eventually.
Yeah, because you ain't have to do Lola Vice and put her in that kind of position. I mean, I get it because her and Kalani are kind of cool right now, but I don't know. That's just me. Since they've made her like a low key baby face now, it's just kind of like it hasn't fared out well for her like when she was a heel just yet. But we'll give it time. But I just had to ask that.
She's in the right place. That's why I hate this. I hate to sound like a broken record, but that's literally is like she's in the right place to figure all that out when it comes to that. But I'm actually kind of glad. Like I agree with Riley's World on X, Twitter, that that I'm glad that they're giving Kalani a bit of an edge and not the happy-go-lucky girl that they've been portraying her as a little bit with this. She was like, okay, you want this, come and fight me for it.
Yeah, I think that's why they had to, put somebody like this version of Wendy Chu that's all more demented and demonic, I guess.
Have they explained the reason why she is it, or it's just in my mind that she just woke up on the wrong side of the bed?
I guess we just got to go with that because she hasn't done a vignette to explain that. Nobody on commentary has explained it. We just know that's what she's been.
Which cracks me up because she returned on Level Up as her original self, and then she just popped on NXT as whatever this is.
Exactly. All I can say about Wendy is that we know she's a ring general in her own right. She can wrestle circles around a lot of people. So, like, she's just a good Natalia type test in a sense,
Yeah. So, but as far as with this one, I definitely see Kalani retaining, and so that's basically. So that'll be my overpick. I oversee Kalani retaining by straight up like outsmarting this demonic version of Wendy. What about you?
I agree. I'm right there with you, man. Full over. In terms of how she does it, it's it could be outsmart, it could be just straight up, but definitely over regardless for that one.
Betteroo. Next up, we have Obafemi defending the North American Championship, the Men's North American Championship, against Tony D'Angelo. This one, ooh, the way that Tony D had Oba with that spine buster definitely caught me. I was like, well, goddamn. You did that.
Yeah, we did.
Because Oba, it's very rare that you see Oba on the defense side of everything. He's always on top.
Usually, no mommy, but this is a tough one. I'm gonna actually go surprise with this one though. I'm going to go over on Tony D'Angelo actually taking this. I think we finally found somebody that can realistically take this thing off Oba, and it might be time to catapult him into that main event picture.
Yeah, because has he won? He hasn't won a North American title, has he? It was just a cup.
I don't think so. Yeah, I think he just won that and the tag team titles.
Oh, okay. And honestly, I've learned my lesson. I'm gonna let you have that. I learned my lesson. I never bet against Oba, so I'm gonna say Oba retains and maintains as the ruler of the North American Championship. I'm sorry. Like I learned my lesson with Wes.
It's my first time. It's my first time.
I was
I'm
like,
right there with you.
Wes, you gonna be the David that slays Goliath, and Goliath said, "Bitch, you thought you are not taking my title. I will continue to be the ruler of NXT." So, hey, Oba retained, and that's my over.
That's fair. I mean, hey, bro, I ain't mad at you, dog. Like you telling the truth. It just, I don't know. It's a little slight hunch. It could be a wrong one, but it's a little slight hunch.
Okay, the chat said, kind of full circle moment since Wendy was Kalani's first opponent. I feel like if Tony lose, he's getting called up. I can see that, but then again, I need Triple H to figure out what he's doing with the talent he already got.
That is true. Before he called anybody else up, where's Kiana James? What are you doing with Carmelo Hayes? What are you doing with?
I feel like they're doing the best of 5 with Carmelo and Andrade because he finally got a win. I was scared he was gonna go 0-3 against Andrade,
Yeah,
but
you and me both, brother. That I can see that. You know, they might do a 2 out of 3 falls or something, knowing them. I wouldn't be surprised. But yeah, I was, that was really to say what you just said. Like, figure out what you're doing with some of them ones that got caught up from the last draft that we have not seen much of. We just now seeing Odyssey Jones, people. Just now. Let that sink in, okay? So please, let's not keep them in the XT. Let Sean keep using them because Sean will find some stuff for him.
like literally, even if it's a side mission, he will find something. Like if he didn't have a match for Javon Evans, but you know what he did? He did a backstage segment with him in primetime Cedric Alexander.
Exactly.
He's gonna find something for them to do.
Man.
What up, Beast?
Hey.
But what else on the match? For the tag team championship, we have Chase U defending against Axiom and Nathan Frazier after Axiom and Frazier defeated Riley and Duke on NXT. So I feel like I see. I'm just gonna throw this out on a whim. I feel like this is the match that's finally gonna see a turn.
Okay.
But it's like a lot of us expect Axiom and Frazier to split, but I feel like because whatever they're doing with Rich, I don't know what the hell they're doing with Rich. I really don't care, but I feel like they're going to Ridge is going to turn on Chase U.
What if it's Riley or Duke that does it?
So,
you know,
do they have as much emotional stake as someone like a Ridge or Duke? Or Duke, yeah.
Duke, yeah, because I mean,
but Riley, no.
He's the MVP, and I mean, the last time Chase U won the tag team titles, it was Mr. Chase and Duke.
How many times have they been on the tag team titles? Was it 3 times? Is this their 3rd time?
No, it's their second.
It's
second time.
Okay. They hot potato so much. I'd be not hot potato, but like they rotate between so many champions. I'd be like, who's who? But yeah, I can see a turn happening. So over a turn happening slightly over for Chase U for the ones to turn, as opposed to Nathan and Axiom.
All right. And I take it so that means over for you in terms of new champions.
Yeah. It's a hot potato, but it's just like I don't know where they're going with this story. So it's more so just a vibe with this over under pit. This ain't my official prediction. I'm gonna wait until we see next week's episode, which will be pre-taped because the production crew is gonna be in Berlin, so they're not gonna be in Florida.
Okay.
So, but yeah, I definitely see a turn happening with Chase U.
I am gonna go on the side of. I'm gonna say over with them retaining, and over with a turn happening. But I think it's Fraxium because they already kind of showed some heel behaviors a little bit today.
Do you feel like both of them going to turn, or you gonna feel like someone's gonna turn on?
No, I'm feeling more like they'll turn, like
they'll turn. Okay,
tag team. Yeah,
they'll be over losing. They be like, nah, we can't handle losing. So
yeah, I feel like they'll be, because think about it, Frazier's kind of cocky, and then I can see Axiom being just completely arrogant because he's the Axiom intelligent person. So like the two of them combined just makes one gigantic butthole of a heel.
I can actually see him actually pulling his mask off, like I'm actually a kid, but Axiom sounds better.
Or something like that. Yeah. So yeah, that's kind of my thought.
Silent Johnny said they need to do something with the women's tag team division. They shouldn't have got rid of the women's tag team titles, in my opinion. But I mean, that's a topic
for NXT. Yeah,
that's a topic for another discussion. In general, really, but yeah, mainly NXT. Yeah.
Well, I mean, they have been bringing them to NXT to defend. I mean, they did defend
every blue moon.
So lately, they've been kind of, H has been using them lately in ways that I was shocked about.
HBK, not HHH.
No, because they had that whole triple threat tag team match on Raw. So
with the Pure Fusion Collective.
Well, hey man, PFC, no UFC, PFC, baby. Think
not
about
to confuse
that.
with KFC.
You see, what the freak, bro?
What up, Tyler? What up, Tyler, over on Twitch? Guapo, what up, man? It felt weird to combine the women's tag titles, especially with the formation of stables and everything. Yeah, I feel like they need to rotate the women's tag team titles down there more. But I think they're going to work on figuring that out. But yeah, I agree with. I was just causing trouble. It's all good. Why they dropped the ball on Lash and Trick Williams? That was just something. That's the thing about NXT. That's just something that they do. There's still a couple in real life. It's probably more so they just don't want to be tied to each other.
Yeah.
On TV, which is understandable because Becky and Seth didn't work. So, and they didn't want to be tied to each other either. So that's pretty much what that is. Last match is for the NXT Championship, the men's NXT Championship. Ethan Page versus Joe Hendry. How you feeling about TNA versus NXT this way for that title? Like, do you feel like this is gonna be a hit or miss, or you feel like this is gonna be a solid main event?
I think it'll be as solid as they can make it. Even if it ain't your cup of tea and you kind of like, they'll still make it work for what it is. I'm gonna go over on Ethan Page retaining this. I'm gonna just throw it out there with an extra over that maybe it's someone from TNA, like, I don't know, Josh Alexander pulling up and just costing Joe Hendry, continuing that feud because, he cost him the TNA title. So why not cost him the NXT title too, which then kind of continues their feud on TNA to eventually get him that TNA title that people thought he was going to get, where he was at. So,
yeah. Oh no, we pretty much got the same over when it comes to this. I feel like they're setting this up because it's pretty much right on the nose. It's going to be Joe Hendry, not Joe Hendry, Joe Hendry losing because of Josh Alexander. So Tyler Guapo said, I think this is a great time to get Hendry a chance to truly show out. And NXT pay-per-views always pull out the best in people, so hoping that's the case with Hendry. Yeah, I feel like that's the NXT. WWE would not put Joe Hendry in this position if they did not believe in the hype and him training at the PC as well as continuing to do his thing with TNA and independence and all that stuff. He's set up for success. There's no need for him to. He has everything that has set him up for success. He has no other option but to succeed. So,
Right.
But I definitely feel like they're going to do that. And I feel like Ethan Page is the right person for him because Ethan Page in that ring is a general as well. Like he has great experience. He has history in TNA. He has history in AEW. He has history all over the world. And then if they do go that route with Josh Alexander, it makes sense. He was a part of the North. So he's helping his brother out.
It's great. It's great storytelling to, much like what they're doing with Wesley, Zach Wentz. It's perfect storytelling.
Riley's World on Twitter said, I feel like they needed new main event guys, but I'm not really hooked on Ethan or Henry because they don't feel like NXT stars. They're both from TNA. Ethan Page just got there. And well, Ethan Page is also he still also has the smell of AEW on him too. So
yeah, I was gonna say he's more.
He still has the smell of AEW too. So it's like he's a TNA guy, but he also has the smell of AEW on it too. So it feels like an outsider in the main event.
Technically, he's got the smell of ROH on him because that's really where he was at for the last,
Exactly, no pop.
Dana somewhere is just,
Like, it ain't my fault. But yep. That is our over and under for NXT No Mercy. It's pretty much straightforward. That's pretty much how we do. For those of you who are new around here, we typically do over and under instead of doing a full-on review of everything that went on in wrestling. Because we feel like at this point you should have already seen a lot of this stuff happen. That's how we feel. So yeah, man. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that. Thoughts on do you have any thoughts on stuff before we go back to Bash and Berlin, before we talk about Bash and Berlin? The one match, because it's only one match. Let's talk about Jacob destroying Roman Reigns with a walking freaking boot.
Yeah, man.
What you think about that entire setup with Solo Sikoa, Tama Tonga? Because people love the cinema of professional wrestling.
Yeah, man. I thought that was actually freaking cool. Made him look like a complete badass, It threw me off because I was like, wait, hold on, what? He's in a walking boot. Wait, he's doing what? He's attacking him in a walking boot. What the? Is that possible?
I said the same thing. I said, yo, is this safe?
Yeah. I was like, can he do this? Because he was going full speed, bro. I was like, yo, what the? Man.
But then again, it's Jacob Fatu. He's a beast in his own right.
He is. You know what? This leads me to wonder. Do y'all want to ever see if Mr. Lesnar ends up back in the WWE some kind of way? Y'all want to see Jacob Fatu clash with Brock Lesnar in the future?
Brock
Makes me-
Lesnar, the talent, yes, but he got stench on him too. It's kind of hard to it's like, because I ain't gonna hold you, Brock, before all this shit came out about him, I was like, I want to see Brock versus Braun Breaker. I want to see Brock versus Gunther. Man, literally got that stink. You know what I'm saying?
Come on. But the reason I brought that up, y'all, is because people still keep talking about him as if he's literally coming back, because they're like, Triple H is like, well, that's on Brock Lesnar kind of thing. So he's leaving
I
the
definitely
door
see him
open.
coming back at some point. I hate to say it like this, but WWE has this tendency of bringing back problematic people. So if Brock is problematic like that, I hate to say it, but I would not be surprised if he comes back.
So if you're saying that, you're telling me that means it's very possible they bring Patrick Clark back at some point.
Oh yeah, I said that. Remember, I said it when we talked about it on the pre-show. I was like, I would not be surprised if Pat Clark comes back. And knowing WWE, they have this history. As much as I hate to say it, they have this history. They would literally have to prove me wrong. I will literally come back on here and be like, I was wrong. He's not coming back. They actually changed.
I mean, he is a Triple H guy, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, we gonna see.
We gonna see. But Roman Reigns with the Ula follow back, you can tell that was a emotional moment, because as we talked about at the top, he just lost his uncle literally that day, that morning. They announced it that morning, so it was a big deal. Where do you see them going with this Bloodline story? Because I've seen some conflicting reports where they was like, we're going to probably have Jacob versus Roman at Bad Blood. I wouldn't be against it, because Jacob's my dude. I don't mind throwing up the ones for Jacob. The next tribal heir.
Oh yeah, that's coming.
But then they say, because I said this on SmackDown, I was like, I would not be against them doing a 3 versus 3 War Games if they do a War Games, because if they don't want to over convolute it with other people, because I don't know how they feel on Tonga Loa. I know we make our memes about Tonga Loa, but you can tell they're pivoting from him a lot.
Yeah, the man wasn't even on SmackDown. I don't know why he wasn't on there, but it said a whole lot. He's been useless anyway. It's just like, bro, do you do anything right? Because you get beat up. I ain't never seen him do anything dominant.
That man was supposed to hit a low blow on Kevin Owens. He ended up hitting his own brother in the head before getting the low blow right. He was supposed to shoulder tackle Cody into the corner, but he shoulder tackled him into the ring ropes instead of the corner. It's like, brother, you.
That's by all means the most useless Bloodline member so far.
He's just there for the vibes.
You dig? Got this freaking eye patch you sell. I'm like, Negro, what? That's supposed to make you look tough?
He's literally Captain Saberhole.
Oh, and let's not forget him getting bumped into the doggone table when he got toped.
Yeah, he got a whiplash from that. I thought he got a concussion, but nah, they say he just had a whiplash. But I'm like, God damn, man.
I'm like, Jesus, brother.
What is happening? It's like at this point where I'm starting to feel like everybody else on social media, where they like, it feels like he's doing this on purpose. He knows we're laughing at him. Mm-hmm. But I had this, because I saw, like, how I mentioned earlier with social media, with the question on social media, I saw this other topic, because everybody's talking about Roman Reigns apologizing. Mm-hmm. Do you feel like Roman Reigns should apologize to Sami Zayn?
Absolutely.
Why?
Well, for the most part, with the way he was treated towards the end of things. Now, I know where you're probably going, because I know if you're going the opposite way, I know there's reasons. Mm-hmm. He did kind of open the doors up for Sami. He didn't have to. He could have just, Mm-hmm. But he did kind of throw Sammy under the bus after a while. Like, I didn't lose. He lost.
He lost.
You know? Like, you kind of threw your boy under the loss. You know, you threw him under the bus. Anytime something was going wrong with Bloodline, he was, the on trial thing, you were ready to get Solo to spike him. And freaking Jay had to be the one to save him. Like, nah, hold on.
If anything, I say if he does have to apologize to Sammy, it should not be as long as he should be having to apologize to Jay.
Oh, true. Jay out of anybody.
And Jimmy. Mainly Jay. The reason why I say that is because Jay from day one got the most abuse from this man.
Oh yeah.
Jimmy, he got a choke, but he would have had to apologize the most to me if Jimmy didn't go right back to the bloodline.
Yeah, Jimmy's knuckleheaded. So I mean, that's a double apology, and I'm sorry for going back. Because you got beat the hell up. And you ain't been seen since. So it's a double apology on that one. Like, I'm sorry.
Jay was like, "Yo, I told you to come with me."
Yeah, but he still ain't no tongue lower. So that for that, I say, hey, you know what? Jimmy, you up the ladder compared to.
So if they do go to 4v4 in war games, that's where they need to keep it.
Yeah.
Keep it 4v4 and then have him apologize to Sammy. Just not as long. Like, I see the discourse. I pay attention. I agree with both sides. Roman and the Bloodline didn't have to open the door for Sammy, and Sammy, first chance he got, turned on Roman for Kevin Owens. But then on the other side, you got it. Roman literally forced this man to prove his loyalty, even though he did at War Games, which is apropos, in 2022, by turning on Kevin Owens. So it's like, I see both sides of the coin, but from my perspective, I feel like it should not be that long. He should not be, it shouldn't be like no multi-week thing. It should be like, yo, man, I'm here to talk to my cousins, but I really want to apologize to you, and then move forward.
Yeah.
Like, it should not be no multi thing.
I'm going to tell you why that makes sense, because Sammy is the most forgiving anyway. So just him getting that one quick apology is enough for a guy like Sammy to forgive Roman right off top, if anything. And then it'd be the reverse effect of when Jay had to go through the ringer for basically like, yo, I know I was tripping, but I'm good now, Uso. You know how Kevin Owens, it took so much long for him to finally be like, all right, he's cool. It's got to be that for Jay with Roman. Like nah, Uso, you know what I'm saying?
Like, nah, you remember what you like. I want Jay to throw. I need him to stop saying yeet so much, but I need him to throw everything Roman did. He's like, remember when you said I will be nothing without you, and here you are, nothing without me, asking for my help because your creation backfired. Jimmy was out here trying to protect me from becoming you, but we both should have been protecting Solo from becoming you. But now he's you times 10, and now you need our help. And for what? So we can do your dirty work? Nah.
And even that's going to be fun telling that story now that you brought that up too, because when that does come, when Jay finally joins in, and Jimmy for that matter, knowing that Solo's the little brother. And I say that because I saw the Fanatics panel discussion with him, Bianca, and Jade, and how he was mentioning Solo a couple times, and that crowd started booing, and he kept it in character for a minute before he was like, hey, I know we booing him right now, but that is little bruh. So, I got to put him over right now when they was talking about, Alpha in the moment. But before that, he mentioned, he did kind of briefly mention little bruh. And that's why I say that's going to be a story in its own right, because Jay do got some unfinished business with little bruh Solo, because you took out my brother, our brother in a sense, but you beat him down and you turned into the very thing, just like you said, that was really supposed to be Jay. in a sense.
Mm-hmm.
And so,
And that's why I say it feels like, because I feel like Triple H, you know how he loves his long-term storybooking. I feel like he's wasting Jay's time right now. He's like, I have to prolong this until we get back to this.
Yeah.
Because I feel like Roman ain't even booked until September.
Yeah, it's looking that way, bro. And I'm gonna throw in something else I actually heard on Busted Open with Mark Henry. You'll probably love this, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Mark Henry said they need to treat that thing like the Infinity Gauntlet, where now that Alpha and Sika both passed away, that thing's got that much more value to it now. Because who's the one to put it around Roman to begin with? Now, because they did that, it gave it power. Now that they're gone, it gives it more power. Now that Solo's over here claiming that he's the tribal chief and wearing it around, power. So now you can tell other stories because now you're going to have a guy like Jacob. At some point, the enforcer is going to want the power. Jimmy tried to protect Jay from turning into a Roman thirsting for power. Keep feeding off of these little side storylines, and all of a sudden that Fala has a power of its own where everybody's just on a rat race trying to be the tribal chief.
Facts. I actually agree. I agree with you right there because it's like, and I like what Silent said. He said, shouldn't Jimmy be saying sorry to Jay for screwing him over multiple times? Yes, he should.
Absolutely, he should.
But yeah, all in all, everybody should be apologizing to Jay. That's what it seems like. At the end of the day, I feel like everybody should be apologizing to Jay for basically trying to turn him into something that he's not, and then didn't realize that they was slowly but surely turning Solo into what they didn't want him to be. But I agree with what you said about the Ula Fala being Infinity Gauntlet. The way Roman was slowly but surely putting it on told me that. I was like, he's like, okay, this Ula Fala turned me evil, but I'm finna get it back to do good. That's the reason why Roman. I feel like that's one of the reasons why Roman hasn't said a word.
Exactly.
Since being back, because he's like, I gotta do right by this Ula Fala. I gotta do right by my uncle, by my father, by the bloodline. Because yes, I made Solo next in line, but I didn't mean for it to be like this. So that's literally your story for the rest of the year, and they can eventually. So basically, do you see this being set up to where Roman versus The Rock happens next year, but it be for the Ula Fala instead of a championship?
I wouldn't be mad at that, honestly, because we kept saying it doesn't need a championship. At this point, that thing is a championship in its own right. Amongst the family, of course, because it's a family thing, but that right there trumps any championship, including the WWE Championship, because that's royalty, straight royalty. And like we just said, with the passing of Alpha and Sika like that, it elevates it that much more. So, like, heck yeah, I can see something like that happening, especially Rock being high chief at that. So, why wouldn't he want that thing?
I saw someone on Facebook. I feel like Roman's a high chief too, in real life. Cause they said high chief Joe and Hawaii. So
Okay.
Roman and Rock are high chiefs in their family. So that makes it even more of an interesting dilemma. Like you're a high chief, I'm a high chief. Who's the tribal chief in WWE? And they can literally make it because The Rock can easily bring up, hey, you failed. I stacked the deck again for you and you failed. To this crybaby bitch in front of Mama Rhodes. Like you already know how Roman talks. I mean not Roman, you know how Rock talks.
Oh yeah. No doubt.
So, hey man. SmackDown was interesting. Like Jacob Fatu is the difference maker when it comes to this new bloodline.
Agreed.
So, hey man, that's how I felt.
Could be too.
You said what now?
I said Hikuleo could be too whenever they decide to bring him in there.
Talatunga?
Probably. I mean, yeah. Like, I feel like at this point, if he gets brought in, it's gonna be when Solo's kicked out. That's what it feels like.
So do you feel like Jacob's going to flip on Solo because he's weak, and that's how they?
When the time comes, yes. When the time comes, yeah. I think I, the way it sounds,
especially if you go based off of what Paul Heyman's saying, he's like, I feel like the bloodline is not even in the third inning. Like, brother. How many third innings we got? Because I feel like you said last SummerSlam, you said we was in the third inning after Roman retained against Jay. So now we're not in the third inning yet. We need to be in the third inning. I promise. It's only so long you can tell this story the way that you're telling it before people be like, all right, bro, enough.
You only got 9 innings in baseball, and that 9th is an overtime. So it's like, nah, bro. We're
like in the 5th inning at this point. Soon as that 3 went down, we're in the 5th. It's time for y'all to punch it in and tell a different story. Because I feel like this story, honestly, can go for another 2 years with Roman as a babyface, and then they just slowly but surely not get rid of it, but like not make it as prominent as it is now. That's just me.
Fair point, man.
Because it's only so far you can tell it before people are like, you know what, fuck this. Anything happen on? Oh, did you see Queen Nia Jax and Tiffany Stratton? That shit was hilarious. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Yeah. No, that was funny too. I enjoyed that. I did enjoy that segment. I love
She's my queen to me.
I love the story they're telling here, and Pretty Deadly being added into that. That's a good way to keep them involved. I think they should make a little stable out of that or something, because that's kind of cool. I like how they did that. I like that a lot. It was entertaining. And Nia, good God, man.
Oh yeah, man.
Does she look good in white? Oh my goodness. I was like, wow, that woman just don't miss. But yeah, bro. This is gonna be a fun story. I can already tell they're building this up real nicely. Like, it's very apparent Tiffany's gonna be in a babyface run, obviously, because the way this is being set up is giving me Sami Zayn vibes a little bit, almost. So like the way she's like, yeah, I want you to bow down. Yeah, you, Tiffany, and she's like, me? You want me? Like, come on, girl, come on. You know what's going on. Like, it's like, hey. So, yeah, man. I'm excited to see how this story plays out. I'm just wondering where the end game is at in terms of pay-per-view wise. Like, are we gonna get this Royal Rumble, WrestleMania? Which way they're gonna go here? I doubt it's a B pay-per-view, so I feel like it'll be one of those big fours.
Facts. Because we got Mia challenging her for the title. Do you see that? I don't see that happening at Bash. I see that happening probably like the SmackDown before Bash. Well, they didn't announce it for next week.
No, they didn't. That's why it's either it's going to be Bash or it's just going to be Bad Blood.
I mean, I'm not against it.
Mm-hmm.
There's a spider in my house. I don't know how they got here. I'm looking right at the spider in my house.
Kill it, brother. We live. Kill it if you need to. Go ahead. You good?
Hey, nigga, how the hell you get in my house? And then you on
Spider-Man.
Dumb bitch.
Spider can.
Oh, I got a yeah, he's dead now.
Spider dead.
Spider dead. Bitch.
Oh well.
But yeah, outside of that, SmackDown. Oh, Street Profits versus DIY. Love that match.
Yes. That actually reminds me. I've been hearing a lot of people talk about the death of, Jonathan Hood actually said this. And I want to bring this up to you. He said we've had the women's revolution. You know, the women, the people online talking about, give divas a chance, give black wrestlers a chance, things like that. When are we gonna get the hashtag going for give tag team wrestling a chance? Meaning, like, how can we revive it to the way it used to be? Because that match shows that tag team wrestling can be what it used to be if you stop putting it aside like it doesn't matter.
I think that's a booking thing. That's more so a booking thing, because if I say that, because AEW, I'm bringing them up. That was literally their forefront during the early stages of that company. Now it feels like it's an afterthought right now.
Well, yes, and that's why I asked that question.
Same thing with SmackDown and Raw, because who are the Raw Tag Team Champions, or the WWE Tag Team Champions, or the World Tag Team Champions? Finn Balor and Cinder Blockhead. Finn Balor and Cinder Blockhead, literally.
Mm-hmm.
You wouldn't know that unless you are a historian, because you don't see them out there, because Finn Balor is feuding with Damian Priest.
Mm-hmm.
And JD is his punching bag.
Mm-hmm. They don't even have it. Can't even tell you the last time they had a tag team title match.
When they won it.
But that's what I mean. Like, that's the point I want to get across here, is like, because not just a WWE thing. AEW, to some degree, TNA has tag teams. They're a little bit slightly outside of this discussion, but they I could see where they're a little thin in that department slightly, but they make it work. But because ABC, for example, is doing their thing. So I mean, they have a few tag teams that are killing it, MSK, if you will, or should I say the Rascals. But like, when can we truly just put the focus around tag team wrestling again? Like, what can we do as fans to get booking to wake up to that? Because that Give Divas a Chance thing worked long enough when they did it, until they decided to forget about it. But it did what it needed to do for the time being back then.
I feel like the difference between the Give Divas a Chance and the tag team is, like, they do give the tag teams a chance, just not as inconsistent as the Divas at the time. So it's like it won't work as much, if that makes sense.
True. I mean, tag team matches aren't like 30 seconds, 2 minutes, 3 minutes like the women's matches were, which caused them to do that. But, somehow, some way, we got to find a way to get it back to being the prominent division it once was. Like, somehow, because when you see matches like what you saw on SmackDown with the Profits and DIY, it just reminds you of, like, oh yeah, when they want to, they can have a fire tag team division. And the fact that was all for a number one contendership. Now we know no matter who won it was going to lose, because the Bloodline's not losing those tag team titles anytime soon.
Unless Roman decides to screw him, but I doubt
it. Yeah. I mean, if it happens for the Profits, I wouldn't be mad at it. I ain't gonna lie to you, because they ain't seen gold in a while. So
facts.
I wouldn't be mad if he decided to just pop up and, give a couple Superman punches and, 1, 2, 3. Profits up, baby. Let's go. But
realistically speaking, that's not happening. So yeah,
it depends. Did they say they didn't say it was gonna be next week? It's
next week. It's literally this coming Friday.
Damn it. Damn it. Damn it. Oh well.
Like, well. Gosh darn it. Damn flabbit. Yeah. So hey man, I understand it. Well, as far as the Raw side, nothing much really happened on Raw. I was literally on autopilot the entire time watching Raw yesterday. It's crazy.
The only thing I'll say that I liked about it, I did like the interaction with Braun Strowman and Bronson Reed. But then I also started thinking, and I said, there's too many doggone Brauns on that show.
Braun Breaker, Braun Strowman, Braun Son. Is there another Braun?
Bruh.
Well, Well,
That's it. That's
three is
three
too
too
many.
many.
Yeah, 3 too many. Yeah.
It's like, can we switch this up a bit somehow? Can one of y'all be on SmackDown or something? Because like, it's too many of y'all bronze on one show, bro. That can't
But then
can't happen.
again, we can't really say too much because we also have Adam Cole, Adam Copeland, and Adam Page in AEW. So we can't really say too much. His phone done glitched out again, so I'm gonna give him some time to get that situated. So we can't really say too much about the Bronsons and the Brawns of the show. It's like we have so many of them across the board. But yeah, while he gets his he's a Raw have crash out season. Like I wasn't like of course the Judgment Day finally getting one up on the Terror Twins makes sense. I'm cool with that. Oh, you back? You back? You good? You good? You good? Oh, hold on. You good? Nah, you chopping in and out. You probably got to reload again. Yeah, he'll be back. Yeah, he's chopping in and out. But yeah, we got the new Judgment Day finally getting one up on Rhea Ripley and Damian Priest. We got The Miz against Bronson Reed. I'm about to call him Braun Strowman. To set up for Braun Strowman versus Bronson Reed eventually. We have the Pure Fusion Collective. Pure Fusion Collective. Pure the pure we get pure Pure Fusion Collective. What you know about that PFC?
Man, why y'all doing this, bro? Stop it. Mm-mm. We're not doing that. We're not doing that. Oh, Jesus, good. Oh, my God. Oh, my God, bro. What the heck? What the heck?
The unholy union retained against Damage Control and the PFC. Braun Breaker's going. They announced a tournament for the Intercontinental Championship to determine the number one contendership for the Intercontinental Championship. That's going to probably take up the rest of TV either before or after Bash in Berlin. So, they said Jay has entered the tournament. I guess he gave up. He wanted to get the tag team titles with Sami Zayn. Okay. Yeet.
It's oof.
Ilya's probably going to be in that because he ain't been around.
Yeah, he'll probably be in that.
Who else? Who else is going? I don't know who else. Like we'll see obviously, but that's pretty much anything. Oh yeah. Also, they announced CM Punk will be facing Drew McIntyre officially. They announced that for Bash in Berlin, and it will be in a strap match. Unfortunately, It will be a strap match that will be the one that I said I hated, but we're stuck with it. It'll be a strap match where you have to hit all 4 corners. And I'm like, didn't they just have a strap match? Ironically, it was with Drew versus Karrion Kross. And it was a straight up strap match.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
So why can't y'all do that with this one? Jesus.
Because that was a different regime.
In 2022, that was still Triple H.
Was it? You sure that was?
It was either or was it 2023? It was last year. It happened last year. 2023. It was Extreme Rules. It was a strap match. 2023. That was they used that to make up for 2022 when it was only one Extreme Rules match. So yeah, it was 2023. It was Drew versus Karrion Kross in a strap match.
Oh yeah, it was.
Don't nobody remember it because it sucked.
That man said it sucked. Oh my god.
I mean, did you enjoy it? You barely remember it. Because my mind immediately goes to Bryan Danielson versus The Fiend in 2020. I like that one.
Yeah, that was a good one. And that also wasn't a 4 corners.
No. So, I guess. So, I guess we can add. You said what?
They couldn't help themselves, brother.
They really couldn't. So, I guess we can add this to the over-under thing right quick. Because this officially makes 4 matches that have been confirmed. So they're either going to have one more match confirmed or it's going to be straight a 4-card pay-per-view card, Punk versus Drew. So for this one, seeing as this is a 4 corners, I would not be surprised if I would say I see Punk winning by Drew getting carried away and touching the corners, and Punk is just going right behind him, touching the corners. Kind of like a callback to JTG versus Shad Gaspard in 2010. Because remember when Shad, because Shad was the bigger guy, and he had JTG on his shoulder, so every time he hit the corner, JTG was right behind him and hit the corner. And then when it was about to be the 4th one, he stopped him and hit his move, and then hit the 4th corner. So I would not. So I see Punk winning because Drew gets carried away. What about you?
Yeah, I mean Punk's got to get his win back, so I go over on that too. Just not over with that finish though. I feel like it might be it's gonna be something similar to that, but I don't know how he's gonna outsmart him some kind of way. But I just don't know exactly how. But that is a way to do it. I just don't know if they're gonna mimic that exact same finish.
That's understandable. So yeah, we both over when it comes to that. But yeah, I feel like that's pretty much. Anything else happen on Raw before we move over to our preview and predictions for this?
No,
that's it.
That was it. Significance other than the obvious future New Day turn that's bound to happen. They keep getting us closer and closer to it. That's all.
Well, according to on Twitter and the exclusive that you told us to watch, I watched this one, and Scarlett and Cross was about to say, "Okay, we got to do this to get them." And Scarlett was like, "Hey, bro, you already planted the seed. You're like a parasite. You planted the eggs in their head. It's going to happen eventually. So we're going to leave the New Day alone. And you got a lot of pent up frustration. So come over and let's go have some sex." That's basically what she said. So we're basically doing what you said. We're moving. They're going to move away from the New Day and the Final Testament. Thank you, God. Yes, brother. Praise God. Hallelujah.
Those exclusives really do, for him anyway, they're worth watching for him because he continues the story he tries to tell through those. You know what I'm saying? So I only recommend it for when he's doing something to turn someone and planting, like she said, being a parasite. Watch those exclusives for him. But everyone else, it's usually just a regular old interview, so it's a waste of time. But
I
when he
stopped
does,
watching those interviews after Talking Smack, the original incarnation, stopped. So
yes, agreed.
so I really,
But
yeah,
yeah, man.
yeah. That's pretty much. Oh yeah. Like I mentioned when you was resetting your stuff, the New Judgment Day finally got one over on the Terror Twins. I saw a post on Twitter where it was like, if Finn Balor wasn't in the New Judgment Day, they would be flipping burgers. So basically, they don't take the New Judgment Day serious without Finn Balor.
Pretty much, and it makes me wonder, like, is anybody gonna help these two, or are they just completely solo dolo to just solo this entire New Judgment Day?
They two big motherfuckers. Like, they don't need help
That's what I'm saying.
against tiny Liv Morgan, slimy Dominic Mysterio, Finn Balor, and Cinder Blockhead. They don't need
And old man Carlito.
and old man Carlito. I forgot all about that nigga because he's pretty much a non-factor.
That's not cool.
It's not cool to be half-assing either. But here we are. So, but yeah, that's pretty much it for this one. So I guess we could spend the last couple of minutes going through the official card as of tonight, because you already know it's AEW. So we can go ahead and go over the card for the upcoming AEW All In London this coming Sunday. It's the final countdown, as they've been hyping it up, because it will be headlined by Swerve Strickland defending the AEW World Championship against the American Dragon Bryan Danielson in a title versus title match. So for this one, how do I guess we can? Do you want to start with the world title, or do you want to go in a different order?
Come back to the world title later, because that's one that's going to take a little more thinking.
Okay, so I guess we can start off with the match that a lot of people on social media doesn't really care for, and that is for the World Tag Team Championships in a triple threat match that has now been confirmed as of Collision this past Saturday. It will be because of a 30-minute time limit draw. Like I said, I knew it was going to be a draw. I'm like, they set this up. It clear as day. It'll be the Young Bucks defending against FTR and the Acclaimed.
Exactly, no problem.
Wow. No wager. No wager, man. Oh boy. I guess over on the Bucks.
Nah, this is our straight up
EVPs,
this is our straight up prediction, because it goes down this Sunday. So this is pretty much straight in the
okay.
in the predictions.
I guess still the Young Buck EVPs, because they're EVPs.
What is up with this Elite? Because I feel like this story is not progressing at all. I gotta say, I'm sorry. It could be I could be conceiving this differently, but this story has not progressed in the slightest.
Yeah, I haven't seen it either, bro. I'm just like, huh? Okay. Because it's basically just the Young Bucks and FTR all over again. You just throw in the Acclaim, and I'm like, okay. For why?
Facts. It's like it is not progressing at all, and I'm like, I'm at my wit's end to where it's like every time I'm like, y'all, you fucking suck right now. That's why I said what I said. I'm like, this tag team division was a prominent fixture, but it's the same people. We need something different. You got some dope tag teams. You got Private Party. You have pretty much. I know they in ROH right now. They just Top Flight. I know they just lost the tag team titles, but you have the Undisputed Kingdom, what's left of it. Like, you have all these different teams that you can literally give them time and and attention to, but we have the same people that nobody really asked for, or I didn't ask for. So I can't speak for everybody else,
100.
but I didn't ask for it. So
At all.
next match we have is a coffin match for the TNT Championship. It will be Darby Allin versus Jack Perry. Who you got?
See, this is tricky because I just picked the EVPs, so I guess by default, I gotta go with Jack Perry, despite the fact that Darby Allin's technically undefeated in coffin matches at All In.
I go the same way. I feel the same way, but I have to go with Darby Allin winning because this could be their way of not having Jack lose by pinfall. So there's that. But yeah, outside of that, I see them retain. I'm giving him time to get his technical difficulties in order again. Are you back? Are you good? You're still kind of choppy a little bit. But the next match, I got his pick on that one. So the next match we have is give my computer time. I think it's going to be some interference. Who do you feel like will interfere? Deshaun, if you don't mind me asking, who do you feel like interfering? Because I wouldn't be surprised if there's some form of interference when it comes to this match as well. That's what I'm saying. Like I wouldn't be surprised because it's the elite. Like it's their MO. They're going to do outside interference, so it makes perfect sense for the interference to happen. So it could be a debut. It could be somebody just that they pay off. I would not be surprised in the slightest. The next match, it will be on the buy-in, actually. The only match that's confirmed for the buy-in. It will be Willow Nightingale, the CMLL Women's Champion, and Tomohiro Ishii versus Chris Statlander and Stokely Hathaway. Tyler said, just step back. If Jack Perry loses this match after just showing off his belt, I'm upset. Oh, yeah, that ugly ass belt. I mean, I get why the belt exists, but it's still ugly to me. But I've seen worse. It's not the best, but I've seen worse. Trust me, I've seen worse. I've seen god awful belts. But hey. But yeah, they're running Ishii versus Big Stoke. So yeah, that's what I'm saying. This is the only match that's confirmed on 0 Hour for All In this Sunday. It will be a tag team match, mixed tag team match. And I believe they announced on Collision that whoever wins this match picks the stipulation for Chris Stat versus Willow for the CMLL Women's Championship at All Out, which will be in 2 weeks. So I'm hyped for this one because I already know Stoke will crack my ass up watching this. But while I wait on Hi-Lite, if I don't get Hi-Lite back for the rest of the show, I'll get his picks and then we'll just go forward with that. But you say you got Ishii winning. I see Willow and Ishii winning to basically win this title. Or not win this title, to win this match and to pick the stipulation for the title match that will be happening at All Out in 2 weeks. Because keep in mind, All Out is taking place after All In. So there's that. You say, yeah. Oh, Tyler, you say you hyped for this. I respect it. I respect it because it's stoked, man. Look, there's good enough wrestling on this show. Give me all the shenanigans. That's what I'm saying. Wrestling, I don't need the 100% pure wrestling. I need some type of stuff that'll make me bust out laughing. I need something that'll make my gut just bleed. But yeah, I definitely see Willow and Ishii winning this one, and I'll definitely get Hi-Lite's pick via text, and I'll just we'll definitely talk about it next week. The next match we have. Oh yeah, highlights in the chat. So highlight. Text me your chat. Put in the chat who you got picked for this one because his phone is going through it right now. While I load up this next match. He said, "Oh Lord, this match." He said, "Oh Lord, this match, the baby faces." So we both got the same pick. He said the baby faces, because I said, because you probably didn't catch or you probably did, but yeah, the winner of this match picks the stipulation for Willow versus Stat at All Out. Give me something not only hilarious but also interesting. Facts. I'd offer to join, but man, I got Bluey playing in the background. You're perfectly fine. This is Tyler. This show is literally the end. This is literally the predictions, and then we get up out of here. So that's what I'm saying. Like we say the predictions for last. So you will literally be on here in and out for like 5 minutes. So we pretty much wrapping it up. But he's in the chat. It's all good. We moving forward, baby. We move. Baby, we move. Baby, we move. Baby, we move. And it's not a lot of matches, so we're good with that. The next match will be the Casino Battle Royale. It will be for a guaranteed world title shot in the near future. We did our over-under last week, but for this one, I got it. I see a debut happening. I see... I see Ricochet debuting. I definitely see Ricochet debuting. I know who we won't see is Ricky Starks, because he's a free agent now, according to Solomonster on Twitter. Ricky Starks has been a free agent since July, so he's clean and clear. If he wants to come back to AEW, we'll see him. But I definitely see Ricochet, or was a free agent. So I definitely see Ricochet debuting. Oh, what'd you say, Mr. Trevor Mann? So that's what I'm saying. Yeah, I definitely see Ricochet debuting and winning this one. Highlight is the same way. He's like Ricochet. So, hey man, that's how we got for the gauntlet, for the battle royal, for the shot at the world title. I'm ready for Ricochet to see what he can do outside of WWE. It's been a minute since I've seen that, because his whole run NXT. You said Keith Lee for the big comeback. I can see that happening. I definitely can see that happening for sure. The next match we have for the TBS Championship. She was in the crowd last year. She's defending the championship as double champion. Mercedes Moné defends the TBS Championship against Dr. Britt Baker, DMD. And I might get flack for this, but I have not been feeling this build to this match whatsoever. I'm outside of Camille debuting and being the Diesel to Mercedes Shawn Michaels, I have not been feeling the build. I don't know what it is. It could be Britt, because I know I've seen a lot of people blaming it on Britt. I'm just not feeling it, but I feel like the match. I feel like Mercedes is going to want to go into this match kill it, because this will be her first stadium pay-per-view match since what? Japan? Didn't she have a match in the Tokyo Dome, or she has not have a match in Tokyo Dome? I could be wrong. The chat says Jamie Hayter might return and cause Britt getting packed up. We'll see, because we haven't seen Jamie in well over a year. Highlight says CEO, so he's definitely picking Mercedes. I have to go with Mercedes for this one as well. Like, I feel like Britt this is not going to be a transitional thing, or like I feel like Britt is going to lose to the CEO at All In. That is for certain. Let's look at the chat right quick. Tyler said, I'm hyped for this one. I know who helped train Britt up for her comeback, so I'm excited. Bet I already know that. Yeah, Tyler's another one who knows. He knows people. He knows the deed when it comes to some good people. So that is cool to know that. That's what I'm saying. Britt, it's like I don't know what's going on with the build to it, but one thing about me and builds, if the build doesn't sell me on a lot of stuff, I know the match has no choice but to kill. So you said peep Twitter. Oh, cool. That's dope. For sure. By the way, Gresh, this is SJ from Twitter. Oh, what's up, SJ? Appreciate you for rocking it with your boy for the last couple of minutes of the show before we get out of here. The next match we have for the International Championship or the American Championship, MJF defending against William Ocean Perch, Will Ospreay. I have not been feeling, one thing I can tell you I have not been feeling is I have not been feeling the whole Tiger Driver 98 fiasco. I hear you.
Sweet.
I have not been feeling the whole Tiger Driver 91 fiasco where he's like, I don't want to hit the move because it injured Bryan Danielson, the same Bryan Danielson who's literally in the main event of this same show and has not been selling the Tiger Driver at all. What are you talking about? Just hit the move, bro. And it's MJF. He's been a dick this entire build. Just hit the move. He broke Danny Garcia's neck in story. He literally been borderline racist in story or in real life. I don't know. I don't know this man like that. And it's like, what are we doing? You're breaking in and out again. You think Daniel Garcia might come back? I can see that happening because I haven't seen anything about him being signed. If he is signed to come back, he's definitely coming back. I genuinely think Ospreay wins with the driver or Garcia returns or both. I definitely see that happening. I want Ospreay to win, but he needs to do the move. That's what I'm saying. I feel like that's what everybody's beef is. It's like, bro, you're telling this story about you not doing the move. Just do the move, bro. I promise it's okay. It's MJF. Don't nobody give a fuck about that dirty tan. I promise. So just do the move. You good?
Yes, sir. Y'all hear me? We good?
Yeah, I hear you.
Sweet.
But yeah, as far as the pick for this one, I see Ospreay winning because he finally hits that fucking move.
Oh, wow. Yeah. I'm gonna go, unfortunately, with this MJF dude, man. They're gonna keep running this.
This whole American thing. Oh, Tyler said we know how dangerous it is. Plus, you can continue the story with MJF being a dickhead with a neck brace.
You could. I mean, as if we need more reasons for him to be more of a dick these days, but you know.
Yeah, I hope Ospreay hit the Tiger Drive and said that motherfucker deserved it at this rate. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's if it was anybody else but MJF, I'd be like, I feel that. But it's literally MJF with the receding hairline and dirty tan, and bad acne on his back. We know he's a dick.
Oh, yeah, I remember now. Yeah, I'm definitely going MJF because I'm telling you, man, Don Callis and that doggone Kyle Fletcher are gonna get involved some kind of way.
Oh, you see, because they did make they pretty much been making it too on the nose that it's gonna happen. So
you just feel it, you know.
Yeah, I feel it. I understand. It is what it is, but yeah, what can you do? What can you really do? Yep. The next match is the last match that we'll talk about is the next match. I think I had the graphic, or I didn't. Do I have it from last week? Because I could have sworn I had the graphic, unless I had it last week. I think I had it last week. Hold on, let me pull it up because I had it on here, but it's not here anymore. It's for the AEW Women's World Championship. It'll be Timeless Tony Storm defending against Mariah May. The graphic is not on here for some reason, but hey, y'all know what I'm talking about. So yeah, it'll be Mariah May challenging for the Women's World Championship. Timeless Tony Storm, and I got. I feel like Mariah should win this one.
I agree she should, but I don't think she will. I think Tony still retains it because it's given. I had it and I lost it for a second, but it's really given. I don't know, bro. It feels like Tony. Oh, her character is kind of still unmatched a bit. You know, like those fans still eat her up. Pause when I say it that way, but they, you know what I mean? Like they still
I know what you mean.
enjoy this character work, and it's kind of like the Roman Reigns effect right now. Like on paper, it seems like the right person to take it from her, but it just feels like Tony's gonna still continue to win.
Like you feel like it's going to take the spotlight from her if she wins, regardless.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like I don't know, it's something. I don't know. It doesn't feel like it yet, but I could be wrong. Hopefully.
I got you. So yeah, we basically both going for Tony. I go for Mariah. And the last match that has been confirmed as of now at the time of this recording is for the World Championship, the final countdown. AEW All In World Championship. Swerve Strickland, Bryan Danielson. Hold on, before we move on to that. Tyler has something to say. The chase is better than the rain. Turned her face. Now Mariah needs to win, so Tony has this big comeback to the belt. True. I can see that.
Yeah.
I can definitely see that. But for the final countdown, title versus career, AEW All In, it'll be Swerve Strickland defending the World Championship against Bryan Danielson. I feel like, the way these interviews are with Bryan Danielson all over the place, hyping this, it comes off as Bryan is going to lay down for Swerve, but this one's tough. You say you had a theory with this one. I'm gonna let you. The floor is yours to talk about this.
Well, honestly, I wouldn't say it's necessarily a theory. It's more just many people feel like, some of the media experts that I've heard kind of look at it as he basically would win here, and some even think he could turn heel to some degree, and it turn into Washington where he loses there, obviously, at Wrestle Dream. But the Adam Page factor we've talked about almost makes this kind of interesting because of like spoiling the moment, if you will. But for that reason of why if Danielson were to turn heel, it would be in spite of, Adam Page maybe. But so I guess you could kind of say that might be a theory for me. Like if Danielson were to, have one last little heel run in this final countdown, let it be because Adam Page, gets what he wants and costing Swerve and, finishing their story, if you will, and Danielson gets to go out on top as a heel per se. But honestly, I'm like you. Looking at the interviews, I really want to say Swerve actually wins this. I know he's been coming off heelish with what he's been saying, but it's not heelish. It's just edge. It's the fact of
it's literally Swerve. He has not became a babyface at all. The crowd just cheered him.
Well, he has. It's just like you said, he's a babyface with edge. Mm-hmm. He ain't have to change himself. Like you said, the crowd eats it up and cheers it, and he moves babyface light, just in the fact that, hey, if I'm gonna come at you and you coming at what I got on my shoulder, I'm not finna hold back because I'm a babyface. I am gonna kill you. You know what I'm saying?
I am going to cripple you. I'm going to break your neck. Birdie, you want
Mhm.
daddy to come home? I will do it for you. I got
Yeah,
you.
yeah, pretty much. So, I for one though, I really do see Swerve retaining this to where if anybody was to take that title off Swerve, it feels like Adam Hangman Page, man. It really does. Because this is where that should have been.
But then again, you also got to keep in mind we still have All Out in 2 weeks. So if Swerve does retain, it'll be Swerve versus Hangman at All Out, basically.
Yeah.
And
One would hope.
it'll add to Swerve's uh it'll add to Swerve's reign to have been the one to retire Bryan Danielson.
Agreed. Totally agree.
But I have no faith in Bryan Danielson at all
Still
to
no.
win. But because you my GOAT, my boy, I'm gonna have to go with Bryan Danielson to quote unquote swerve us and finally stop disappointing me and win the world title. Because if you disappoint me, then I will never let you let that down. I will disown my fandom. So don't disappoint me.
That's a bit extreme. That's a bit
I'm
extreme.
lying. I'm lying.
I was like,
But
stop the cap. Stop the cap.
but if I have to, like, I have to go with my boy Bryan to retain it. I mean, to win the title. You still going with Swerve?
For sure. For sure. I'm sticking with Swerve.
Bad. But yeah, man, that All Out is going down. They're actually doing a face off with Nigel McGuinness on Dynamite. So he's gonna be moderating this. So you already know there's gonna be an interesting encounter. But hey, man, Tyler said, "Look, man, they gotta run him and Nigel one day. He ain't losing. I need it." That's what I'm saying. It's so much, but then again, you better hope they do it within the next year because Bryan said he's not signing no contract. His contract expired actually. So unless he agreed to an extension, this is either done or, hey, man. So Bryan, I have no faith in you, but as you being one of my favorites, I'm going to give you this prediction. Don't let me down. Or I will tweet my displeasure.
Oh boy, I'm ready.
I will be marked for a couple of minutes and tweet my displeasure for the masses.
I'm so ready for this. I can't wait.
But
Let's go.
man,
Let's
that
go.
that is your preview and predictions for AEW All In, and that is our show. What we got going on this coming week? Nothing much, really. We'll be back here next week for another installment of the Gresh Leagues podcast. What you got coming up?
Well, we were gonna be in Carolina on Friday. Unfortunately, that got postponed, so that is on halt. But shout out to the independent wrestler locally here in Atlanta by the name of Dion Summers. He debuted his new theme song created by yours truly. So make sure y'all check that out. It's about to drop on all stream platforms under Mike Mayhem Music. If you're a podcaster, if you're a wrestler, anything like that, come holler at your boy in the DMs, man. Mike Mayhem Music. We'll get you right. We'll get you a nice theme. That's a banger for the people that they gonna love, man. That being said, man, other than that, follow all things OTS Media Co. Shout out to our boy DJ. And yeah, man. Y'all, shout out to y'all on the Spotify's, man. That continue to rock with your boy, man. I see the listenership going up. Y'all the real MVPs, man. That's all I got.
Yes, sir. And yeah, hey man, a lot of stuff is changing with the content on my end. I will be making a formal announcement for a video idea that I have coming up for the main channel. And that will be pretty much my love letter to my time as a 2K content creator. That'll be a nice way to, I might as well say that'll be a nice swan song. I will make a formal announcement, but that'll be my time as a 2K content creator this year. I have this philosophy in life where if I feel like I'm not enjoying it anymore, I'm not doing it anymore, and I'm not finna force people to like me because I'm doing something and I'm half-assing it. But the channel isn't going anywhere. We will definitely be bringing back the retrospectives and all that stuff. But I got a lot of stuff going on because I'll be moving soon and all that good stuff. So a lot of stuff is going to be happening within the next 6 months, including my birthday. So and obviously Bad Blood as well. So we'll be doing a lot of fun content wise. But as far as the 2K people who rocks with me, hey, I appreciate y'all for rocking with me since 2014, 2013. But hey, man, time changes, people evolve. But with that being said, you guys stay safe. We love you. We appreciate you. Subscribe to listen to the podcast in audio format. Hopefully you guys enjoy what we bring to the table. This was episode 84. Next week will be 85. Next thing you know, we'll be close to 100 episodes of this podcast. The season finale, the season premiere, all that good stuff. We appreciate y'all rocking with us. And then it'll be the end of the year awards, and then we'll be on hiatus until 2025. This year is moving by mega quick.
Yeah.
But we appreciate y'all. We appreciate y'all for rocking with us. I'm about to go to bed because I got to go to the gym first thing in the morning. But y'all stay safe out here in these streets. And remember to always, always be true to yourself. Be real. Stop the phoniness. Stop being a fan disguised as a hater. Be your true self. But always remember to eat, sleep, flex, and repeat. We out. Y'all be breezy.